What up, Queen City, and everybody else who might be watching as we move forward towards our second season of the No Limit series presented by Native Watercraft. I have my team in the back here. We got Ryan and Blaine with me tonight, but I want to just say thank you all for being here. This is going to end up being our captain's meeting for this weekend. I know at this moment we don't have the full field, but we'll talk about anything we need to talk about for this event and moving forward, and then I will send this link out in your TourneyX email on Friday evening. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Co-Commish and Co-Co-Commish. These guys are hysterical, fighting over the names, both with equally horrible backgrounds, I must say. And then we'll let the crowd build up. But what up, Ryan? What up, Blaine? Appreciate you guys being here, man.
Hey, man. Thanks for having us.
What's going on, dude?
So this is a big night for Ryan. He gets to see StreamYard. It's the first time he's actually logged in, so that's awesome. We got him live on camera for all 20 people who are here to talk to him. So
can you see my name? If I comment, can you see who it is now? So you
probably not, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I've let it allow like 35 times, and it still won't let me. I don't know what it is.
Could be worse, I guess. So
Vinny's getting kickbacks from StreamYard.
We'll deal with it. No, I'm a paid subscriber. There better not be any kickbacks. But so guys, I mean, this is literally this weekend is the halfway point of our full season. It's event 5 out of 10 in the main. We've had 2 and 2 in the West and the South. Like Saturday at 8 o'clock when we come live on StreamYard, it will be the halfway point of 2023, which is exciting, crazy to say we're already here, and it's been a fun ride already, man.
Yeah, it seems like I was just catching one fish on Norman like last weekend. I mean, it's crazy that we're halfway through. I'm gonna say I think the divisions have been a success. I will go ahead and put it out there.
Dude, that's what I was about to say.
I loved having so many options in that March-April timeframe to go fish tournaments. I mean, I think you really nailed the timing and putting those lakes together. And how many 70, 80 plus inch bags did we have there for a few week stretch, tournament after tournament? They really showed out consistently. So it feels like it's been a full season, but yeah, we're halfway there and we've got a lot more to go.
Yeah, for sure. Meeting divisional goals, man, that was super exciting, and freaking watching all those big fish get caught early, that was great.
Yeah, so I keep talking about it, StreamYard after StreamYard, but we haven't missed. Well, technically we missed one goal, but we're still over the average goal. So everything is right where we needed it to be when we set our goals preseason. We're over those numbers, and the schedule. I mean, at this point, it's literally copy and paste into next year because it's been so amazing as far as not just quantity and happy anglers, but the quality, Ryan, like you said, has been ridiculous. We've seen record-breaking numbers on lakes that we've not seen those numbers on. And, I can't take the credit for it, but like the weather has been really nice as well. So I feel like we're going into this June time frame. People are already on the way down. Like, oh, I'm hot. I'm sweaty. I don't want to be out there anymore. The fish are deep. They're not biting as well. I think this weekend is going to be insane. We're having a spring in the Carolinas, which I've been down here 15 years, and I don't think we've ever had. So I think these fish are still eating. They're still shallow. They're still catchable. You still have your full arsenal of baits you can throw. And if you want to go deep, then you go for it. If you want to stay shallow, you go for it. But I think the judges this weekend are going to be extremely busy.
Man, I'm going. So Saturday after the tournament, I'm going to the beach for a 3-day golf tournament. And it's supposed to be like 63 in the mornings in June at the beach to play golf. It's crazy, but you're right. This weather, it's been so cool that we're not in that June, July heat where you have to go deep and you have to go looking for fish. I think anybody's going to have a chance, with the No Limit to kind of do what they want to do what they're comfortable with. And that should get everybody excited that you have a chance to go wherever you want and just put numbers up.
Yeah.
Pre-spawn in South Carolina generally only lasts, a month max. And we had like 2.5 months of pre-spawn this year, and it was freaking awesome. Every fish you caught had a belly like that. It was fantastic. It really was. And it really showed in the numbers, especially on Murray, man. Murray early this year, I knew it could be really good depending on where anglers went, and I knew it would take some areas of the lake that generally do pretty well away from, the equation. And man, to see 80+ inch bags on Murray just repetitively was awesome.
So we've had new winners, new guys taking home plaques. We've had big numbers, big turnouts. The TOC is right on its way to $15,000. So, everything is in the good bucket, and I'm expecting this weekend to continue that trend. We are going to have our third no limit event. We were the test dummies, and then we got to host an event last year, which was huge. It was the largest event in the series. We had 160 anglers, and the pressure is on this year for the Carolinas. We've been called out by California. You guys know I've posted. So they had 182, and Marv told me that we're not going to beat them. So, we'll see. At this moment, we're pushing about 70 on Wednesday night, which for Queen City is probably record numbers, honestly. Yeah. But so will we hit 183? Will we hit the 200 mark? I'm not going to sit here and say we will. Those are really, really big numbers. Do I think it can and it should happen with the amount of bodies of water covering North Carolina, South Carolina, parts of Georgia? I think it should happen. I hope that Carolina stands up and comes to fish another national level event here at home. But we'll see what happens come Friday at 10 o'clock. Ryan, what's your guess? High, low? What you got? What's your number for how many we're going to end up with?
So I was talking to my brother. We put the high low at 150, and I went with the high.
So I think we're say over 150.
I think we're going to hit that 165, 170. I'm hopeful with the 180, 190, but we'll see. I mean, you're right. This is early for QC, and we're pushing 70. We've had 100, go up on the last day or two. It'll happen, but the big thing about this is, like you said, all lakes are open. You shouldn't have to drive more than half an hour to an hour to get to any body of water. And with the no limit side, the MLF style, you don't have to go chase big fish. You're not looking for 4 big fish. So you can compete even if you're not around big fish water. So,
and there's so many ways to make money. Like, you may choose to drive because you may choose to drive to a lake that's full of spotted bass, or you may choose to drive to a lake that you think you can win 2 or 3 hours in. It really is personal preference and your skills. What are you better at? Are you better at putting a limit together or catching a ton of fish, or are you better at putting those 24-inch pigs in a boat like Mr. Pink Sweatpants did a year and a half ago?
You do what you do, and that was the cool thing about the event. I personally chose to drive. I drove to Santee, lived near Columbia, so it was about an hour and a half. And I mean, you make clutch decisions at certain times of the day, and sometimes it pays off.
So what's your number? Ryan's going 170, 175. What are you going?
So 2 things. I've actually done the math on this. I got bored one day and put together over the last year and a half, 2 years of your average anglers, just from Vinny's posts that I could see from him before tournaments. I knew I could kind of gauge it. Your average is about 48% signs up on Friday. But this is thing number 2. This is not your average QC event. So
48% of the total, but you don't know what the total is going to be. So
right. Well, no, 48% of what is signed up by, I'd say Tuesday or Wednesday the week before is generally when you post. So Tuesday or Wednesday the week before, and then total number of anglers in that event. 48% were signed up between, when you posted and the end. So
what I'm hearing is we have to have about 150 by Thursday night, and we're going to hit that 200 mark.
Yeah.
That was quick math. Not Ryan.
I really think I think we're going to end up, we'll end up over California. I really do.
I hope Marv is watching from it's probably 4 o'clock in California right now.
He's still at work.
Yeah, he's still working. But
with the amount of different water you have here and options for anglers to drive, I mean, I get California does too, but because it's way bigger. But I mean, I just, I think we have a more diverse group of bass fishermen here that are willing to put the hat in the ring.
So was California one lake?
Hold on, I'm going to jump in there. Hold on. Not only was it one lake, it was one damn ramp. They shotgun launched with 180.
That would be intense. Oh my god!
I don't want anything to do with that. You know how many texts
I would bring
get?
an Orbeez gun.
I'm not doing it. But yeah, so we're the different one. We're the only real multi-lake this year. The Northwest Pacific event, the Columbia River, is a series of, I guess it's a series of bodies of water on a river. So a little closer to our style. But yeah, we are the only multi-lake, and I think it's beautiful because it gives guys 300 miles away from each other opportunities to fish, and they still have the options of choosing the big, the spotted, the limit fish. So I really do think it brings the whole set of Carolinas together. I know we'll have some Georgia anglers jump in there. I think there's already a couple Tennessee names on the list, so I know we'll be reaching that the big group of anglers that we need to reach. And I'm not going to sit here and put my foot in my mouth and say we're going to beat California, but I am going to say that I really hope we do smash California. We have had one 200-person event. I hope this is another one. And yeah, so I want to just kind of, somebody's echoing. It's one of you guys echoing. So this is the No Limit banner. For those of you who are just tuning in, we're going to run through some of the Native Watercraft No Limit series stuff tonight. This will be your captain's meeting for the weekend. So if you have questions, put them in the comments. We will get to them, and we'll make sure everybody leaves here pretty confident. This year, we brought in some new hardware for the event. Ryan and Blaine have not even seen these in person, but we went with the Catch products, first, second, and third place mini bump board trophies this year. So we went with the flat black for all the series events. We think they look pretty classy, pretty good in my opinion. And then we had Tim Fitz, local QC angler and sponsor. He did the overall Big Bass Award trophy this year. This is going to go home with the biggest bass of the event, which will also win a Native Watercraft Slayer Max 10. And obviously the minimum of $1,000 for the hour that they win that title for. We're sitting here talking about numbers, so we got to talk about some payouts too, I guess. If we hit that beautiful 200 mark, the hourly Big Bass is going to be $1,000. And first place at the end of the day is going to be $3,500, $2,500 for second, $1,500 for third, $1,000 for fourth, and then down the line all the way to 15th place, at least breaking even. So last year we had 160, which would be close to $3,000 for first if we end up around that number again. Obviously, really depends on how many sign up. But we're still going to do a little bit of QC touch in the Native series. We have frame certificates for 4th through 10th place. Every series is giving these out. So if you're fishing Queen City, or you're fishing in Alabama, or you're fishing Lake Fork, you'll have an opportunity to go home with one of these. Same with the trophies. And, this has the list of all the events here. I will be your director this weekend, and I will be your director in Alabama in August. Blaine is taking a weekend off, and Ryan is going to be an angler, as always, this weekend. So he'll be trying to steal an hour or two, I guess, and we'll kind of see where he lands. He's been running hot, so we'll see if he can keep that up. Coco, are you echoing?
No, it's not me. I just muted my mic and still heard it, so that means it's got to be this guy.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, lower your volume, Ryan. I think that's what it is. So this year, you guys know we expanded. We already touched on the divisions. And while we're bringing them up again, let's give a huge shout out to Boondocks for bringing us the Southern Division. Huge shout out for Native Watercraft for being our overall main series sponsor, and Big Adventures for the Western Division. This year with 18 main events on the schedule, we had to kind of sneak things in here and there. So we ended up deciding that the Native No Limit event was going to also be your main trail event, which we keep posting and posting and posting. This is your 5th event of the season. It is going to count for points. Ryan's going to have to do a little bit of extra math this weekend, and he's going to just take your standings based on members only standings. So you'll be pulled from a list of the 180 Queen City members that we have, and you'll earn points based on only members. So if you lose to somebody who's not a Queen City member, no big deal. You'll still get the points you deserve. And that was me trying to fit some stuff into a calendar that's very crowded. Not only is it Queen City's crowded, but there are other series, other clubs around, and everybody's calendar is crazy. So hopefully you guys appreciate that, and you're not looking at it as a negative that it's one of your trail events. As far as the rules, we are following the native rules, but they really are not very different. I have a few here that are different that we're going to review, just so if you have some questions about them, we can ask. I have been fielding some questions about ramps, fielding some questions about river fishing. So we'll touch on those as well. And then I know Ryan wants to mention a couple tips and tricks to taking pictures, and anything Blaine feels like throwing in, he'll throw in as well. So being that it is a native event, there will be no clips allowed for your pictures. So keep those clips out of all your pictures. We are allowing the Catch carbonate board, which is the yellow plastic board that is legal for this event. So if you prefer that board for some reason, or you're coming from out of town, no problem. You are allowed to use not only the native no limit identifier card, which is up on your screen right now, and that can be printed from the files tab on Queen City and on the native no limit page, or you are allowed to use this year the Queen City identifier. So that was a rule that we put in. It was my idea to make life easier, since it is specific groups of anglers that we really are targeting with this series. So use your normal ID. We don't want to add stress to your life. We don't want to DQ you for the wrong ID card. So choose one, whatever's easier for you, and use it. Any Queen City identifier that you've been using will be accepted. I know there's a variety of tin tags out there. There's a few paper ones out there. So whatever you're using, no problem at all. For this event, there is a 14-inch minimum. So keep that in mind when you make your plans to go to your lake, when you're taking pictures. 14-inch minimum for all of your limit fish. All right, so I'm going to stop here for a second. There are some river access points available for this event. The Catawba River is on there. There's other rivers that lead into all the lakes. Murray's got a river. Hartwell's got rivers. There is no portaging and no wading. This is a lake event. There are no river-specific rules. So if you're looking to fish a river and you don't think you can paddle back up or pedal back up, you need to do a float. You need to take out at the next legal takeout point that has to be on the map and the ramp list. Okay, so you are not allowed to get out on a set of rocks and fish. You are not allowed to get out a set of rocks and pull your kayak over. Either way, you need to remain in your kayak as long as you are safe, and you need to fish from inside your kayak. For team, Ryan is going to pull your totals from the complete no limit standings. So if Ryan and I were teammates,
Hopefully not again.
Yeah, that's PTSD. I'm still struggling from that.
Yeah, I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, no good.
Bad luck. Don't worry about it.
No, not bad luck. Bad fishing by that guy.
I ain't asking questions.
So your team total is going to be from your no limit standing. So if I submitted 20 fish, Ryan submitted 15 fish, our total inches for those 35 fish would be our team standings for this year, for this event. We do have our standard team plaques that we will give away. We have our standard small bass plaque that I am going to throw $200 at this month, since it's not an option for your entry fee. It's just going to be free for everybody, and I'll pay you $200 plus your plaque. So everybody who catches anything under 14 inches, feel free to send me a picture. Usually takes about 7 inches and below to win the small bass pot. So you don't need to send me a 13.75. That's not going to do it. But send me your small bass pictures to my phone, and we'll announce the winner that night. All right, this is an important one here. Everything this event is based on time taken, the time you take your picture, not when you upload it. So there's no point in trying to hold a fish for the last hour and try to win that hour. It is when you take your picture. That being said, we want you to upload as quick as possible. There is zero reason to sandbag for this event. The live leaderboard will be off. it will show totals, but it will not show the breakdown of fish. So it may show Ryan Hulsey in first place at 12 o'clock with 369 inches, but it will not let you know if Ryan has 2 fish at 150 inches each or he has 30 fish at 10 inches each. It will not show. So please, for the sake of the judges and my mental state, please upload fish as quick as possible. It is written in the native rules that you must submit your fish through TourneyX, which means we cannot manually upload your fish for you. We will not have an on-site place for you to upload your fish. They must be uploaded through the TourneyX app by the angler. Okay, now I'm stating that, but we do it every month anyway. It's no different. It's the same as Queen City. This is a man-powered event. I'll have to say that probably 80 more times by Friday. We are the Carolinas is the only event that does not allow motors for the native series. Again, we are targeting a specific group of anglers, and this group does not use motors. So man-powered only. You can pre-fish however you would like on a boat, waiting, using an electric motor up until Friday at 11:59 p.m. You are allowed to troll up to 1 rod. That is written in the rules. And the Big Bass Power Hour, if we have a tie, is broken by the first picture taken. So if there's 2 20-inchers in hour 1 and one is caught at 5:32 and one is caught at 5:35, that 5:32 is going to win that tiebreaker. Those are the differences. And honestly, they're really not too different. Plastic board, 14 inches, it's really not a big deal. So treat it as if you're fishing your main event. Feel free to review the rules, but that's the gist of it right there. Ryan, I know you wanted to add a few things about picture taking, so go for it.
Yeah, just and most people know this, but in case this is, you're new to it, or, again, it's just practice that you don't do. One of the things that I try to do is every time I'm taking pictures, I'll take a scenery picture between a fish. So I'll catch one, take 2 or 3 pictures in case, Vinny or somebody DQs it for an open mouth that you thought was closed. You've got something to fall back on. But then when you let that fish go, take a picture of the lake, a tree, the sky, whatever, especially in this event when you're submitting a bunch of pictures and you're going back through. When you're looking in your camera roll, you can say, okay, I've got a scenery picture and another fish. That means that this is a different fish than the one I'm looking at. For me, at least, when I'm looking at 50 fish pictures in my camera roll, sometimes it's hard to tell the 15.5 from the 15.75 and so on. So take a scenery pic between each different fish. That should help. And then, like I said, if you're not one of these people that take 2 or 3 pictures, take 2 or 3 pictures. I stretch them out and I try to get that extra 1/4 inch. But if I think it's iffy, I'll squeeze it up against the bump and I'll get that 1/4 inch shorter shot. That way, if my fish is DQ'd or, 1/2 inch deduction for an open mouth, I can say, oh, wait, I've got one that is a 1/4 inch shorter, which is better than the 1/2 inch deduction. So, that's kind of picture basics, but keep that in mind. That's something that I do to keep kind of in my head where I'm at with the different fish in my pictures. And then another thing is we were looking at the launch times and the sunrise times. We're going to be launching in the dark. So, I just put the Burley Pro orb on the Hobie today. Make sure you're double checking that you've got some kind of white 360 light, just because it's going to be dark. I mean, I personally like that. I like getting out before the sun comes up and getting those extra few minutes of top water or whatnot. But just be careful, because we're going to be spread out across a lot of lakes and it's going to be dark.
It won't be dark for very long. It'll be dark for about 15 minutes, I think, by the time you actually start fishing. But yes, it will be dark. We are getting started earlier. This was supposed to be an early summer event, even though it's a late spring event. But, I was really trying to hook you guys up with that early top water, early summer, big bass bite. And here we are, you'll be in hoodies and sweatpants. So it's a little interesting, but I do think it's going to work out. I think the numbers are going to be really high this year. And we've seen a ton of big fish come through Queen City, so we know that's going to happen. I'm going to pause for a second and answer these 2 questions that just came through. Somebody asked if they had to put a sticker on the bump. That is not a Queen City rule. That is a BASS and Hobie Bass Open Series makes you put the sticker there. So they actually do it for you. Mike, we don't have a sticker rule, so just make sure you're taking nice, clear pictures and no problem about your name there. And then Nikki, if you edit your photo, if you rotate your photo, it is considered edited. So just upload it as it is. It's literally one click for a judge to flip the photo how we need it. Yep. So do not worry about the way it looks when it comes in. We will take care of it. Hoodies and sweatpants, shorts and a QC jersey for Dylan. So something I want to say. So this is a native Watercraft, no limit series event. We are using it as our trail event. But when we built season 2 of this series, me and my team, and shout out to them. I meant to thank them in the beginning, but shout out to my squad. They know who they are. We actually hired a company to judge all the fish for this series this year for all 7 events. So Amanda and her team over at Real Tournament Management they're actually going to be your judges this weekend. Amanda has an eye just like me. We bounce stuff off each other all year long. Is this open? Is this closed? And she is just as strict, if not more strict than me. So expect the same type of penalties. Expect the same style of judging from Amanda and her team. And just know that I am acting as your director, but I am not actually judging unless I am called to judge a specific set of fish or a fish or give an opinion. But I will be your director. I will be dealing with anything directing for that event. So I'm here if you need me. If I'm not right next to my phone, Mary will be right next to my phone. So you will get either me or Mary, and know that Amanda and Real Tournament Management will be taking care of your fish submissions. Somebody's asking what it's going to take to win big bass. I'll go ahead and say it. I'm going to go for it. 24 inches. What you think, Brian?
We're in that time of the year, man. I'm gonna say a 23 is gonna take it. I'm not gonna go all the way up there.
Not gonna go 24.
Man, my record got beat this year, so now nobody can touch that. Nobody can touch that 24 inch mark anymore. Everybody just stay away.
What you think, Ryan?
I'm gonna go right down the middle, 23 and a half, just to be that difficult guy. But I think you're right, Blaine. I think there are opportunities there. I mean, Jeremy caught a 25.
Yeah, Jeremy caught 25
Hartwell. So they're there, but you're right. It's kind of that after spawn funk. So maybe not, but yeah, I'll go with 23 and a half.
Ryan, I know you don't pay attention to much that I do. Like, I know it's very, very minimum.
I put blinders on anytime I see your name.
Yeah. So, I held a little Memorial Day weekend shootout over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Did you? I didn't see that. You must not have posted about it.
And there were 2 23s put up this weekend. So I think these fish, and there was a 23 put up in the monthly as well by Ian. So I think these fish are still around. I think if we do push that 200 angler mark, I think that 24-inch number is going to show up. But we'll see. I know I believe in the quality of angler we have here in the Carolinas. I know the lakes in play, especially 3 hours east, have some big old bass. So you got your Harris, your Falls, your Jordan. Then you go the other way and you got Santee, Murray, Hartwell. So I'm going 24 and I feel pretty good about it. And if
maybe we'll put something on this.
Bold move there, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him.
I can't beat you on the lake anymore fishing, so we'll put little side bets on the tournaments the rest of the year.
Well, you know what? And when someone does drop a 24, they're going to go home with that hourly $1,000. They're going to take home almost a $3,000 native Watercraft, max 10.5. And depending on what hour it is, which I didn't even get to talk about, they're going to go home with some bonus money. So native, people keeps telling me I'm putting in the work, but native picked up some amazing sponsors this year. And I know we're blocking faces here, but I'm going to run through these.
Everything you've pulled up has blocked my face and it's cracked me up.
Perfect. It's perfectly placed.
It was planned that way.
Now yeah, you're ugly too. All right.
We discussed that before you got in. Don't worry about it. So hour 1, if you win hour 1 big bass, you're going to go home with an extra $500 from Hook. So that's $1,500 for hour 1. If you win hour 2, you're going to take home a Black Pack Pro from Yak Attack and a $500 gift card on top of your $1,000 cash. Hour 3, you're going to go home with a Bending Branches paddle plus your $1,000 cash. Hour 4, you're going to have a prize package from NRS. Hour 5 is a $500 gift card from Yakima on top of your $1,000. Hour 6 is your $1,000 plus $500 worth of product from Dakota Lithium, which is phenomenal. Hour 7, you get a $500 prize pack from Rapala and VMC on top of your $1,000. And hour 8 is a $500 gift card from Boggs, which on top of your $1,000. So really, we're looking at each hour is $1,500. And whether it's just more cash or product, regardless, I think that's 8 anglers that are going to go home extremely happy. And that's not even talking about the no limit payout. That's not talking about the part where you're going to earn your points for the season, right? So where do you fall? Do you chase the 1,500? Do you chase the points knowing the TOC is there? Does it matter how you did the first 4 events? Does that play into how you're doing this weekend? So there's just a lot of things going on. We have some more comments rolling in.
You're making me feel better.
In my eyes, dog. You go for big money.
Yeah, I like it.
You're making me feel a lot better about going and chasing those hours. I didn't even know we had all that added stuff, so that's awesome.
Yeah, so we got some killer sponsors. We really do.
Yeah, we do. A native, Tyler, did an amazing job picking those guys up. You know, last year I went out and I picked up extra sponsors, and we were the only event to pay $1,300 per hour. But this year, Native, they took the train and they just ran with it. And it helped that we had some good data. You know, we came out with this series in a crowded market, Bass, Hobie, KBF, regional stuff, All-American series, the local stuff. And we just decided we were going to drop a series. And we really didn't know how it was going to be taken. You know, we knew we were doing it different. We knew we were targeting a different level of angler, a different mindset angler. And the goal was to average 100 across 5. And if we did that, we were going to look to expand. Well, we did that pretty easily. So Tyler gave me the green light, and he was like, go get us a few more events. So I got us Gunnersville, which I think is going to be phenomenal in the summer when you'll be throwing a frog on some mats. Like, can you ask for anything better when one bite wins you $1,500? So, and then Lake Fork, you know, Texas never got an opportunity to show out last year with this series, and we're going to go to Texas. So I think it's going to be an awesome 2023. Somebody's asking how many inches. I guess we might as well address it. How many inches is it going to take, Ryan?
320.
I'm going to look last year. Hang on. Go ahead. 320 from Ryan. What you think, Blake?
I need to know what won it last year.
I think it was only like 180 last year.
Oh, was it that low?
What time of year would they have it last year?
April 30th.
April 30th. Okay.
And we had 160 anglers.
230.
230. 230, really? Oh, it was 235 last year.
Oh, it was 235 last year. Okay, I was going to base that off 180. So then I'm gonna say we're gonna end up somewhere around 275 if that's the case.
I'll say it. I'm gonna say a 24-incher takes big bass, and it takes 300 inches to win it. I think the way the weather's lining up, cloud cover, no real summer, I think it's going to be a blast. I'm saying 300 inches.
Yeah. And I'm basing this a lot off my experience here recently, and I fished a few different bodies of water around here, man. But I don't know if it's just me. I've always kind of sucked in May, but it's just been ridiculously tough. Like I jumped in the shootout you put together this weekend, man. I went to my river once. It was decent the first day, caught a lot of shorts, and was like, okay, I'm going to adjust and go to the section with the bigger fish. Man, that rain hit, done for. Just shut them down.
Yeah.
So, well, that's it. I didn't want to go fight boats on Murray. So,
yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. So many bodies of water in play here, and so many different areas per body of water. You know, do you go to a river? Do you go to a creek? Do you fish with your live scope on main points? Like, it's really going to be interesting. Mike, you've never broken 100 inches in how many fish? I mean, you're allowed to submit as many fish as you want.
And that's the kicker. 12 inches or 14 inches 14 go a long way.
I mean, you just need 8 keepers, you know, and you break your 100 inches. We're not talking about a 5-fish limit to get a check like that up there. We're talking about you're fishing 8 hours.
Many as you can catch. Yep.
Yeah. So Back to the captain meeting aspect of it. It is a 5 a.m. launch. I know Ryan touched on it with his Burley Pro Orb, but we are launching at 5 a.m. First cast is 5:30. That is right when your first hour starts, and that first hour is $1,500 cash money. Your last picture must be taken by 129:59. Your last submission must be 229:59, and then we're gonna go live at 8 p.m. The soft live time is 8 p.m. Pending I am somehow not at home or an emergency, but 8 p.m. And we will send invites to all the caching anglers. I will have to strategically ask people to come in and out on time because I can only have, I think, 10 people backstage with me at once. So I'll have to do, I don't know, 16th through, 8th and then kick them out and go again. But that's my job to figure all that out. And I know I've touched on it, but not actually said it straight out. So if you win first place overall, no limit, you're going to go home with a Slayer max 12 and a half propel. If you win overall Big Bash, you're going to go home with a max 10 propel. And just for submitting one keeper to the leaderboard, just one lousy keeper, you're going to be entered into a raffle for a Native Watercraft Falcon 11. So we will be giving away 3 kayaks. And, I think that's pretty exciting just for your $125 entry fee to have a shot at almost $8,000. So Mike's feeling a little better now. Maybe he didn't know this was a no limit event. I don't know. Mike, did you not know? Do I got to do a better job of this right here? Keep blocking.
No.
Blake. Sit up,
no
Ryan.
Limit.
Sit up.
I'm here.
So drops. If you have questions, I've never hooked more than 2 fish in a day. I hooked 5 last week. Look at you. It's that new kayak, buddy. Dylan just got himself a Titan. He's loving it. So, Mike, maybe you don't go to Falls. Maybe go to Norman and catch yourself a bunch of spots. I think that might be the key. So if you have questions or comments or anything you'd like us to bring up here on the show, put it in the we got rid of Ryan. He did it to himself. Put it in the comments and let's get it up on screen. And I want everybody to make sure they feel good about going into this event. Like I said, we're sitting at 70. I'm going to check where we're at right now. Don't know if anybody's signed up right now, but we are sitting at 66 anglers at the moment. So not bad for a Wednesday night. Garrett's looking for the Falcon. Yeah, dude, that Falcon's a nice little boat. Tim, do not rotate photos. That would be considered editing. And this is for any tournament you guys fish. Almost every series has must be a first generation photo. So as soon as you edit it, it's not a first generation and it changes your location, your timestamp, all that. So you should never be editing photos. If it's Blaine judging, if it's me judging, anybody judging, we just hit one little arrow and it either turns your picture 45 degrees or flips it 180. So we'll take care of that. That's what we get paid for. Let us take care of that.
Yeah, it's super easy. Don't spend unnecessary time when you could just be submitting fish that you need to submit, sitting there trying to make sure they look good for us. We can handle that. Just make sure the boxes are checked as far as penalties go and submit them things.
So Queen City never requires a membership. It's always optional for things like online events. You have to pay it, and for your points, Tournament of Champions, Angler of the Year, overall yearly awards. But if you ever just want to come fish with us, we never require a membership, and neither does the No Limit series, and we're not going to change that. So you please just come and fish and don't worry about any membership fees. What lake do you think takes big bass? Ryan, you want to turn your phone horizontal to get rid of those lines? I think it's hard for me to not say Santee, right? But I do think Harris out in the Raleigh area has a real chance. So I'll just go Santee because I think that's the safe bet. I actually don't remember if it was Santee who took it last year, but I'm saying Santee. What you got, Blaine?
Murray.
This guy, you just love Murray.
It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. There's a lot of big fish being caught right now, and I really do think it's going to be Murray. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to give away anybody's information.
What you got, Ryan?
I'm going Santee. Might be a little personal bias there, but I'm going Santee.
So if you guys remember last year, I think it was like 6 different lakes took home the hourly money. So it just shows you the amount of power the Carolinas has, not only in angler, but in bodies of water. You know, this is people outside of our states might be like, oh, yeah, you got to go to Santee to catch 23-incher. That's where you're going to win it. I think it was 6 different lakes took home 8 hours worth of money. So you can really go anywhere. You can go anywhere.
It's just the right bite.
Yep. Harris and Raleigh, if you know it very, very well. So we'll see.
Hey, I did have one question before I got kicked off by this new laptop.
We're listening.
All right. So we're fishing for 8.5 hours, right?
Nope.
5:30 to 2?
1:30.
Okay. We're good then.
And this is the part where I tell you guys he doesn't pay attention. This is the shit I deal with every event. Every event I get a Ryan question. I'm like, don't you work for me? Like, what is like...
I don't get behind.
No, it's a 129 last picture taken, 229 last picture submitted. It got to be 8 hours. Yep. So, and like I said, guys, the leaderboard is going to be off. So get those fish up. Let people root for you as far as totals, even though they don't know the real story. They don't know if you have 2 or 10 or 15 fish, but let them watch the overall leaderboard build up all day. TourneyX built us this platform for this event. You'll see 17, I believe it's still 17. You'll see 17 fish in the standings. So even if you submit 40 keepers, you're only going to see 17 fish in the standings when we turn it back on. But that's so it doesn't look absolutely ridiculous. It needs to be visually appealing. And I think 17 is the magic number. Yeah, it just gets silly at that point.
Well, and
Chad's making fun of me.
Too, with the way we're doing points. You know, I'm bad about sometimes if I'm not having a good event, I'll be sitting in like 30, 40th place, and it's, you know, an hour or two left. I'm kind of like, nah, I'm not going to get there, and I might not fish as hard, or I might get off the water. Remember, we're only doing the QC members, so just because you're sitting in 40th place this event doesn't mean that you won't get 25th place points or 30th place points in front of you. Finishes. In front of you. Don't look at the board and think you're too far out to be good in good points for the season long race to the TOC. Fish hard to the end of it, because you're going to probably end up with better points where you finish, since it's just QC people this event.
And let's be honest, how many stories have we read post-event where somebody catches a 20-incher with 3 minutes left? Well, that 20-incher is going to be worth $1,000 plus $500 in some type of product. So why would you quit? Yeah. This is an event where you should not be off the water until after 1:30.
One cast can be $1,000 plus another $500 incentives from these sponsors. So there's no reason not to fish hard the whole time.
All right, now I will say, I want to say 2 things while we still have a decent crowd here. We keep talking about the payout. It does need to hit 100 anglers before we hit the $1,000 per hour. You know, we're all assuming we're going to hit the 100 anglers, but it is not $1,000 per hour until we hit the 100 anglers. So that's my live asterisk there. And the second live asterisk is it will be updated in the rules tonight that if you are requested to take a polygraph, you must accept or you will be disqualified and banned from all future events in the series. So it is not written in the rules tonight, but the PDF, it actually may be uploaded now by the time we're still sitting here, but that will be in the rules tonight as well. Somebody asked a good question here. What if you don't have service? How does the hourly work? We touched on it earlier, but specifically to this question, it is your time taken. So if you take your picture at 6 a.m., you're now in the second hour, but you can't upload until 2 p.m., you will win the second hour. You know, nothing here is going – we will not let service ruin your day unless you, for whatever reason, can't get uploaded by 2:30. Then that's – you know, then we have a problem. But
golly.
I don't really know why Chad is saying Matt Hodge's name, but we love Matt, so let's put Matt's name up on the screen. Chad's busted my chops here because I had the last picture of time at 1:29:29 when I made the event, but we fixed it. It's now 1:29:59, and I appreciate you for keeping tabs on me there, buddy. I need it sometimes. But if the weather was better last weekend, yeah, I don't know. You guys will have to deal with the jet skiers and the boaters. And like I said, choose your lake wisely. I know you mentioned up here Murray and Russell won't have as many. So that's definitely something to consider. Norman will probably be busy. Hartwell will be extremely busy. But then you have lakes like Kiwi and Jocassee and Fontana and Adger and like lakes we've never seen as a club. But because we decided to expand this year and go west, you have all these other options. So I'd be really, really curious to see what comes out of those western lakes where boat traffic's not going to be as crazy. But
don't include Kiwi in that list.
You telling me you can't go to Kiwi and catch 30 keepers?
No, you can't. I'm at the boat traffic list.
Oh, no, yeah, the boat traffic.
Oh, dude, it's so bad there. It is. So you will be rocking the boat on Kiwi.
Somebody with service again. So check-in is unfortunately not 100% required, right? But we want you to do it for safety and for responsibility. And we would really, really prefer you to check in. But if you can't do it, it's not going to be the reason you lose a tournament. Harris will be bonkers with wake boats. Kiwi is wake boat hell.
It is. It's so bad.
But you could literally, this is a tournament you could win on Kiwi.
Yeah, because every time one of the wake boats comes by, that school of spots is going to fire up. And you're just going to absolutely wail on them while everybody watches you from the wake boat.
Yep, 100%. So, and that's the beauty. Like, I wish this is the third one of these we've hosted, and I haven't been able to get in one yet. So I might try to sneak away and get up to the Susky one. I haven't verified if I'm allowed to fish it yet, though. Last year I wasn't allowed. We said we were going to modify the rule. So I don't know. I'd like to get up to the Susky, but my life is so crazy with everything I'm doing. So I don't know. We'll see if I can pull away. But yeah, so questions have simmered down. Blaine, Ryan, I appreciate you guys being here and just hanging out and talking Queen City, man.
No problem, man. No lie to you, I'm hungry.
Go eat, baby.
Hey, look, I will say I usually try to get the standings up same night. With this being a different format and having to do some different things and me going on a trip from the boat ramp, I still think I'll be able to get it, but give me a little leeway if it's a day or two later than normal with the standings. But we'll get them up. You'll be able to see where you finished in relation to all the QC people.
We will get them up as quick as possible because we do have a quick turnaround with Queen City South is the next weekend on the 10th, where Blaine will be running another Southern event. He's going to have the Southern Slam, Waterville, Russell, Greenwood, Clarks Hill open for that. So that's going to be a fun one. It's in conjunction kind of with the South Carolina Bass Nation. They're hosting one at Greenwood. So Blaine will be hosting that, and then we turn around again on June 24th, and we go to Norman. Norman showed out last year in the summer, so we're giving it another chance to see if it can do it again. And I have a feeling it's going to do it. And we have a great venue again. We're back at the pit, the indoor go-kart racing spot. So we have a nice, beautiful room, air conditioner. So always appreciate Visit Mooresville for bringing us back up there. But yeah, busy month. I took some heat when I put the schedule out. People were like, well, why are we only fishing once in May? And I'm like, dude, relax. Just take a look at June. Like we couldn't spread it out because of Memorial Day. That's what really happened. So we needed Memorial Day weekend to not be where it was so we could put 2 in May and then still do 2 in June. And it didn't work out. So we have 3 in June. So go fishing. I'll let you go, Blaine, because I know you said you're hungry and honestly.
You're good, dude. No,
okay.
You're good.
I had a guy call me today and ask me how to qualify for the championship, and he asked me to touch on it tonight. And I have 9 minutes before I feel like we need to leave, so I'll touch on it. He was asking if the top 10 qualified from the South, and I told him no. And I told him, look, the simple answer is it's the top 3 from the divisions, right? That's the simple answer. So top 3 in points from the South and the West, as long as you have fished 4 main events as well. And he was like, okay. And then I said, but we won't know until the end of the year. It may be more. So let's just use the number 50. If there's 50 anglers in the Southern Division that fish 3 Southern events and 4 main events, then we're going to take 5 of those anglers from the Southern Series into the TOC. If it's 80 anglers who fish 3 and 4, then we're going to take 8 anglers into the TOC. So 10%. Obviously, Ryan and I can't plan or really answer questions as to how many we're taking because we won't know until October. Now, the simple answer is 3. We're taking 3. We know we're taking 3. I think we're probably going to end up taking 5 or 6. Ryan,
yep, that's kind of where I'm thinking we're gonna end up, which is still for a division series the first year. That's a lot of people to the TOC when you think about it.
Yeah, and then roll downs, If if an angler double qualifies, we're gonna roll down. So keep fishing hard. Don't get to July and August and just be like, oh, it's over. It's never over. There's so many different roads that lead to the TOC this year. It's really worth you sticking it out and seeing where you land. These Western events are not going to be as big, right? We showed James only had, I think, 38. Now, the first one was big, pushing 60, but James only had 38. Fontana may only have 20. So if you need to go get points, Fontana is far as hell. It's 4 hours. But if you need 300 points in a Western event, it might be worth your ride. Right? So there should be no quit. If your goal is to come fish for an $8,000 or $9,000 first place championship prize, and forget the money. If your goal is to beat Joey Randall's ass this year in the championship and take his crown, there should be no quit in you with all these different roads that we've put together. So that being said, Southern Slam should have 60, 70, 80 people fishing in it. And then when we go,
the option to go wherever.
Yeah, and you got 4 lakes to choose from. So, we'll see. I'll keep answering questions about the TOC. I'm glad I'm fielding questions. I'm glad you guys are excited. But Blaine and I start our sponsor hunt and 2024 planning in July, August. So as long as things are still on the up and up come August, we're going to look to keep these divisions where they are, possibly expand them and have even more events because that's what we need. But, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But Ryan told me he wasn't doing enough Excel work, so he wanted more events.
Yeah, thanks.
That's what he said, just like that.
Hey, also this kind of a little hot take here. I'm putting it on blast. You said Joey Randall at the TOC. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I beat Joey Randall at the TOC.
Ooh!
I haven't heard him comment, so I'm really, really hoping he's in here right now.
It's pretty funny if that white door behind him just flew open. There he is.
55. Minute 55. Joey Randall. I'm gonna tag him. Minute 55. Okay, I like it. You two should play some type of wager, a little bourbon wager.
We'll see what we'll up for. We'll see how confident he is. How about that?
There it is.
Hey, I will say this. He is the champ. He's got the big LED plaque. He is the champ.
Champ
of the largest grassroots series in the country. So that boy can talk all he wants until Lake Wiley November. Until Lake Wiley.
No.
Somebody just called you out. Said his money's on the champ.
Oh, Charles Lathan.
You know what it is? It's because you got no hardware behind you. Nobody even knows who you are.
There's a bunch of it in the bedroom behind me. I just hadn't put it on the wall.
All right, boys. Look, we're under that hour. That's always the goal. We haven't done one of these in a few weeks. We really just haven't fished much in the last few weeks. So we're going to try to get back on some type of schedule here. We'll jump on with the Southern Slam sponsor and Blaine as we finish up the No Limit and approach that event. And we'll keep the train rolling. I appreciate you guys both huge. And let's get out of here. Everybody, if you need anything, just hit me up through Friday. And I'm excited to be your director on Saturday. Have a good night, everybody.
See y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks.